No headlines. You know why you're here. Stephanie McMahon is stepping away from WWE. This was revealed in a tweet posted yesterday afternoon. What Stephanie said, Andrew?
So she said, as of tomorrow, which is now today, I am taking a leave of absence from the majority of my responsibilities at WWE. WWE is a lifelong legacy for me, and I look forward to returning to the company that I love after taking this time to focus on my family.
Now, the timing of this tweet is quite intriguing because yesterday, WWE had a shareholders meeting at about 1 p.m. local time. Stephanie tweeted this out at 4:30 post-meeting. I imagine something like that being announced in a shareholders meeting would no doubt have some sort of effect on the stocks and the bottom line of the company.
Absolutely. I mean, she's such a huge part of a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff at WWE, and I think if making an announcement like this might put people's backs up a little bit, like, oh, what's perhaps going on here? So I think that was absolutely the right call to make there.
Yeah, because not only is this the chief brand officer from WWE leaving, somebody who is very intrinsically involved in furthering the company outside of the wrestling idea, but this is another McMahon family member leaving the company. Okay, she says it's a leave of absence.
Yes.
He's looking forward to coming back, but this is still a departure. This is another McMahon removed from the table.
Wow.
Which is the big thing. In terms of what goes on with her role next, we'll get to that in a little bit. PW Insider, what have they given us this morning, Andrew?
So PW Insider has said that internally within the company, it appears no one but the most inner circle have had any idea that this was coming. And basically, a lot of them were completely shocked and taken aback by the news. So, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of the people that Stephanie was working with directly, and I mean, there's got to be a huge pool of people there that she will work with directly and also work with indirectly as well, who may not have been told the news beforehand, so it would have come as a shock. But yeah, like, it would do, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I think they would be keen to make sure that the people closest working with Stephanie knew, right, this is happening at R4. But then to many others, it was a shock. No internal memos been sent out as well, according to WrestleNomics. So I'm quite surprised by. Maybe by now they will have done. It seems weird to have that happen and not send out a memo straight away.
Yeah.
But by now they may have already dropped one. Interesting one from David Bixenspan. So he went on Twitter. He noticed that Stephanie McMahon's work history is no longer listed on her LinkedIn account. So I mean, read into this what you will. It could be something, it could be nothing, as Bix has said.
Yeah.
But the top header on LinkedIn still has her with the WWE logo. So there's lots. So like her WWE accomplishments are still listed in the about section as well.
Well. Oh, sorry.
No, and so I don't know whether we're reading too much into something like this.
I feel like when you've got so much on as Stephanie McMahon does, I think it's probably a good idea in sort of LinkedIn and things, you know, that are very much tied to company and businesses and whatnot. Like, I think it's a good idea to perhaps take that off as you're taking a leave of absence, so then people aren't necessarily constantly either pestering you about something, thinking you're maybe still in the position and whatnot.
That's a really good shout, actually. That's a really good shout.
Maybe it's just like take that off so then I can like full on just focus on other things such as a family, such as Paul and Big Paul. That's
a good shout. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a really solid shout, that. In terms of Stephanie's role within WWE, well, basically her whole life is WWE. It is her life's work.
Yeah.
Because you know she's the daughter of Vince McMahon. She's been involved with the company. I think her first she was on This Morning with Phil and Holly in 2017.
Wow.
That's a really weird interview.
Isn't it?
That's the multiverse clash in that is. But she talks about like going to her first wrestling event at the age of 3, and you know there was photos of her and Andre the Giant that did the rounds. She was one of the catalog models in the WWF catalog in like the late 80s and the early 90s.
She's wearing the t-shirts. Like, I think the Rockers t-shirt or something that was doing the like photo rounds and stuff. Yeah.
She became an on-screen character in 1999. The British Bulldog hit her with a bin. She went on to become part of the McMahon-Helmsley regime. I don't think the bin was connected. And became a character that was very polarizing While some did enjoy her heel-ness, some found the way, the delivery, and the execution of it jarring, frustrating, and so she got mixed reviews as a performer on screen. She threw herself into multiple roles on screen as well. She was the SmackDown general manager from 2002.
Brought the US title.
She brought the US title back and some swanky tag team titles as well.
Yes, she did.
Among other things. Butted heads with Paul Heyman on and off screen as she moved from working in the office of WWE into the head of the creative team in WWE. In 2007, she became the executive vice president of creative, and in 2013, she was promoted to her current role, which is the one that she's stepping away from, which is chief brand officer. And in that time, she won an award with Forbes, became the most influential female CMO, picking up an award through Forbes there for her work within the industry. So on and off camera, she's been very much involved. In terms of the why, like why now?
Yeah.
I think Hunter's health is something. Big Paul's health.
Well, Big Paul.
Big Paul, your mate Big Paul.
We do.
Big Paul's health is something that a lot of people have cited as a reason, like with Triple H having, as WWE have described it, a cardiac event, and his subsequent, very sudden, sort of low-key retirement from wrestling. Stephanie just maybe wants to spend more time with the family at this point.
I think that's an absolutely valid reason to sort of step down for a little bit and take time to be with your family, because you don't necessarily know what could happen, and when something big like that happens, I think it sort of puts things into perspective a little bit more. She's been with the company for so long now too. I think it's maybe even, speculation again, but I think working for so long within WWE, there's got to be some kind of burnout perhaps as well, it's just nice to take time, because this is going to be like a 24/7 thing, 24/7, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year kind of job, and I think she is probably ready to step back a little bit and just enjoy life and enjoy being with Hunter and her family and everything too.
I can imagine it would get in my craw, where if I worked, as you say, 24 hours round the clock and sort of built my own legacy, to then have my dad go on the Pat McAfee show and go, I expected more from my family.
Yeah.
And interesting, like Vince McMahon's a key one in this one as well, because Vince McMahon puts a lot of pressure on his own kids and his own business to succeed. But then that dichotomy is changing now as well, because not only is Linda away from the wrestling world now, Shane seemingly away from wrestling again now as well, and Stephanie leaving, which means that there's more room at the table for a very key player that we're going to talk about now, that being the president of WWE, Nick Khan. It has been reported by Brandon Thurston that Nick Khan will be taking over most of Stephanie McMahon's duties in her absence, according to multiple people at WWE. Select business partners have already been informed of this. If you want to know how that meeting went down between Nick Khan and Vince McMahon as he took Stephanie McMahon's powers, just watch Avengers Infinity War and the bit where Thanos takes the Soul Stone.
Just puts the gauntlet on, he's ready. He's almost got the final part of the gauntlet. So
soon reality will be whatever he wants. He's made big strides. He joined, he was part of WWE. He joined back in August 2020. He was representing them before that as part of the Creative Artists Agency. So there was like a relationship there. But in the 2 years he's come in, he's now, like more than ever, like the most powerful person not named Vince McMahon, which is in WWE.
And that's quite crazy as well, because I think we've spoken and joked about this even at points where, Nick Khan's going to be the one that takes everything over. And now, like, it's looking like that is more of a possibility, more of a reality, as you said, than it has been in the past.
And one consideration as well is with Nick Khan sort of gaining more and more power within the company, Stephanie McMahon stepping away, not only is it a chance for her to sort of connect with her family, but also it's a chance to step away as the company possibly sort of, changes shape, terraforms once again. Maybe even the speculation finally ends and the company gets sold. And Stephanie may be using some of that accrued time off to just let the pieces fall.
Yeah.
And then step back in, back in. At the end of that, of course, this is speculatory bans from the Cultaholic Wrestling Crack News team of Messrs. Hodgkinson and Campbell. But it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Of course, this is a rolling news story, and we'll give you more as we get it throughout the day. For the latest, you can check out cultaholic.com. Oh, breaking.
Doomsday!
No, it's fine. Nick Khan has stormed WWE HQ. We'll have more throughout the day at Cultaholic.com. Our leading story today, Stephanie McMahon taking a leave of absence from WWE. Keys.
Love you, bye.